Okay, here are Dr. Kenton's simple rules for note cards as planners. 1. Use blue or black ink for original entries. Use red ink for markouts or changes. If you did what you intended in an hour block, mark it through with one blue line. If you didn't do what you intended, mark it through with one red line. Fill in every hour spot. All right, now I'm going to make one from scratch just so you can see what I mean. Oh, it's going to take me a bit to get all my stuff together. I didn't intend to do an entire demo, but I see that it's probably necessary. So I'm going to do one. It is interesting, say this only, it is interesting how many plastic rulers you can find just laying on the ground if you live near an elementary school. So what I do is I make 1 centimeter lines. So I got to mark the endpoints 1 centimeter each away from one another. Whatever surplus I have at the bottom, I don't bother about it. Full seeing behind the curtain and everything. Anyway, so what I'm going to wind up with is a card that has, I don't know, like 13 or 14 lines. I'll show you, I'm almost there. So this first, the column that's going to be on the left here is where the hour slots go. And then I'm going to put my lines for each hour. You'll see the system coming together here in a second. I hesitate to show you an actual one because it's got people's names on it and they didn't give permission and I didn't pursue it, so I'm not gonna reveal it. Alright, so at the top I start with 7. I don't usually start working before 7 in the morning, and I developed a habit of using 24-hour time references when I was an exchange student for a year. Alright, so at the top I'll put today's date, and I'm gonna, today is, for example, October 10th, 2024. I would write 2024, October 10, and then I have because I'm a nerd, I have a rubber stamper here that has my star date on it for each day. And I hope that's dark enough you can see. Close enough. So I put the date on there each day to know that it's active for the day. So let's say the first thing, I know every day I do morning admin stuff, which is just getting myself ready for the day. So I pretty much can write this in for every day for 2 hours. And morning admin includes things like going on a walk with my dog in the morning, eating breakfast, working out for 30 minutes, cooling down for 10 minutes. It's a solid 2-hour chunk. In the evening, I have a call with my wife. All right. And then I have a night routine that I do every night. I circle that just, I don't know, to make it stand out. Then through the day, let's say I wanted to spend some time grading, and I had a Zoom meeting with a student. And then by about this time, I probably need to walk my dog again. I'll put that there. Say that I wanted to do some prep work. And then I stop at noon. Because one thing that I do in 11 or 12 is prepare the second half of the day. All right, so at about 11, I would put in whatever. Let's say I just gonna break for lunch. Give myself a half hour for that. Usually leftovers. At the top, I'll write in today's weight. I weigh myself every day, my blood glucose level, and my amount of sleep. Just because I keep track of those 3 things. Alright, so in the afternoon, I had, let's just say I wanted to do more prep for class. We have this thing called 7-week sessions at work, so 7W2 is the second 7-week session of the semester. Alright, let's just stop there. Alright, let's say then that now it's the afternoon, early afternoon. Let's say it's 1:30. And I'll go through, at some point, I'll go through and mark off the things that I did. So I did my morning admin. But instead of grading, I got called into a Zoom meeting about 7W2. Then my Zoom meeting with the student went through fine. My prep for next week's meeting got pushed. The afternoon. And my grading got pushed into this instead. So prep for next week meeting didn't happen. Things that didn't happen get crossed out with red. Things that did happen get crossed out with blue. This is a write-in. So if I do the prep for next week's meeting, it gets crossed out with blue. Prep for class that runs second 7 weeks, crossed out with blue. Anything that's crossed out with red didn't happen. So you may come to a situation where you thought you're getting into your afternoon and somebody wants to take you to lunch. Lunch with Fred, whoever Fred is. Okay? That happens after, I don't know, 8 in the morning. Fred calls, says, let's have lunch. Okay, great. So I ran lunch with Fred. It's going to take the whole hour now because, you know, when I'm at home, I can just eat quickly and get back to work. When I'm going out with somebody, I need to devote the time. But then Fred calls at like 11 and says, oh boy, something bad happened and I can't do it. So now I got red crossed out red. So I'm going to have lunch. But this time it's at home and I have it. All right. So it looks like it might be complicated, but it's not, because look at it. This is something I planned to do. It's blue. It's crossed out with blue. That means it got done. Planned and done. Planned but not done. Instead, Zoom meeting. That got done. Crossed out blue means it got done. Crossed out red means it didn't get done. Again, back on the normal schedule. Planned to do this, got done at that time. I wanted to prep for next week's meeting. That got crossed out. Pushed to the afternoon. You can see that here. Instead, I did grading. So grading got pushed here. This got pushed to the afternoon. Don't want anyone to think I didn't walk Winston. Because, you know, Winston gets walked. So I had originally planned to do lunch. Then that plan got canceled because Fred called and wanted to have lunch. Then Fred canceled, so I'm back to making my own lunch. And I did it. Afternoon, we're back on normal schedule. Then my prep for the next week's meeting, we got pushed from the morning to the afternoon. That actually got done. I hope that makes sense. So blue is for things that you anticipate, blue or black. Black is like blue. But there is only red. Crossed out with black, it's just like blue. All right. Hope that makes sense. Love you. Bye.